Hey guys, this is Tony from Redrotor. I just wanted to do a short video to share some hopefully helpful tips on setting up and using the Redrotor RROSD Pro. So this is our latest revision of the RROSD Pro. It's a similar to use power distribution board with built-in OSD designed for racing quadcopters. The physical dimension of this board is exactly the same as a NACE 32, which is 36mm by 36mm. The mounting holes are also exactly the same. They're 30.5mm apart. With all the servo connectors installed, the thickest part of this board is about 7.62mm. For anyone who wants an ultra low profile installation, you can actually remove the servo connectors. One way to do that is to remove the plastic piece so that each pin can be desoldered one by one. Now we're going to go ahead and weigh the board with servo connectors. 6.8 grams. Without connectors, 5.7 grams. We're going to talk about the connectors and their functionality next. The battery input connectors are located at the rear of the board. They're clearly labeled positive and negative, while the speed controller pads are here and here, and you can solder them top as well as bottom. This is what 20 gauge speed controller power wires look like on these pads. Still plenty of room left. And this is what 16 gauge look like. Keep in mind you can also solder to the bottom side. Here I have both the FPV camera and the video transmitter connected to the board. The FPV camera connector is conveniently located at the front of the board. This is physically closest to where the FPV camera is usually mounted. The connection is fairly straightforward. On the FPV cam side, we have ground, positive supply to the camera, and video signal. The voltage to the camera can be set to either 12 volt, this is a factory setting, or 5 volts. Both are regulated and filtered. Same thing on the VTX side. You got a VTX connector here, and the solder bridge setting can either be set to 12 volt factory or raw battery input. The second set of pins on the camera connector gives you ground, 5 volt supply. This can be used to power your flight controller or any accessories that run on 5 volts. And RSSI input. This is fully compatible with FrSky receivers such as the D4R or any receivers that can put out analog voltage. The second set of pins on the VTX connector serves two functions. First, it allows you to upgrade the OSD firmware through an external programmer. And second, it can be used to connect to a lap timer transponder. And we'll talk more about the lap timer feature in the next video. We have a small button in the corner of the board. It can be used to change the video mode from NTSC to PAL. And it can also be used to change the configuration in the user menu. To take advantage of the lost model feature of this board, you just got to solder a small buzzer onto the board. Make sure you line up the positive side to positive side. If you need to change the video output on the RROSD board, all you need to do is hold down the button while applying power. Keep holding until the green LED starts to blink fast. Reset power and you are done. Let's enter the user menu by powering on the board and hold down the button for a few seconds. To calibrate RSSI min, turn off your radio and hold down the button for 2 seconds. The same can be done for RSSI max with the radio on. Cal voltage allows you to fine-tune the display battery input voltage. Battery warning is the low battery threshold. It blinks the OSD voltage to remind you that it's time to land. MAH warning sets the battery capacity threshold. This is usually set to about 80% of the battery capacity.